now. Mortimer. What do you want?
Your soul is tainted with worthless human will, yet your thirst for power remains undiminished. With every sip you take, you grow in strength, and soon you shall achieve perfection.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You will accept us, Mythos. It is inevitable. You were created for this purpose, and you shall serve it.
Never!
Fight it, Clyde! Don't let him in!
Consciousness. We see now. Human will is so insubstantial it cannot exist in isolation. You mitigate its weakness by interweaving it with your consciousness. We believed we had merely to purge you of your will to claim our vessel. It appears we first have to sever every thread of the consciousness that supports it. No matter. The time to build a new world is not yet upon us. We will contemplate.
Thank you, Joshua.
One can no more command the power of ether by drowning in its flood than one can constrain the tides by standing in the sea. I had thought Hugo wiser than this, but it seems his head was full of rocks after all.
Titan was strong.
Your Majesty.
But Mythos is stronger. For 5 years, that man lived only for revenge. Clinging fast to a fiction, even as it swept him into the abyss. One cannot change one's nature through force of will alone. Only the Almighty can do that.
Hugo Kupka. The man who gave his life for a woman's head. A fool like all the rest.
That the death of a mother crystal should be so beautiful.
Some medicine, my lord? I have salves, potions, anything you need.
Stop bothering me, urchin, or you'll feel the back of my hand.
You must consider your health, my prince. If a show of force is needed to keep the Dalmex at bay, you may trust in your dragoons. I beg you to call on Bahamut only as a last resort. His strength comes at too great a cost.
The Empire agreed to an armistice with the Republic, and yet the Emperor still plots its ruin. For now, the Dalmex suspect nothing, and as long as I can hold their gaze, war need not be inevitable. But more than that, Bahamut is the champion of the Empire. When our people look to the heavens, the sight of him gives them hope.
I'd better give Otto the good news.
Walkways need patching up. Give me 50.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
Clive.
I am.
Well, I'll bet all of our...
We had a stall us from loot. I expect that was your...
It's...
one for the...
Welcome home.
It's good to be...
I think which...
with Otto. Any... Thank...
Ah, the conquering hero.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up some the scent of Waloed.
The very same. But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the Royalists, as did his men, slaughtered by the orcs who take... Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in storm before. The Waloeders must have ferried them over from Ash, but why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the... One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on... One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is... The kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash. It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. we have not seen the last of the Waluda standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the Royalists betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the Royalists' movements. Well, not. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. The wounds he left that night are still raw. Especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Consider it the price of today's...
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only...
I suppose we are.
Well, someone looks pleased with it.
Nothing escapes you. It's true.
Good. And what can I do for you? It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all?
Blackthorn.
What is it?
I wanted it.
What do you need? What do you want? Not bad, if I do say so myself. No scratches, all right? You can thank me later. Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it. Clive? What do you want? Don't waste my time. You ain't got the stuff. Anything else?
Ah, Clive. Have you come seeking the...
No. To Shem.
Oh.
Look, he's crying.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your thing.
All right. Brilliant.
It does.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the...
Hippocrates. I need to know what he is.
Alas. No. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment.
But I saw him. With my own...
I don't... Alas, it seems you are the only one. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his...
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another project, but until I do, my investigations...
Thank you. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
Oh, I'm never drinking.
I'm telling you, it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips. Hugo Kupka is dead.
You barely sat down since you came home.
Viv, just spreading the word.
So, the Professor's got a soft side, has she?
No. She was right, though. Everyone...
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peaceful, not least of all Sid. You should tell it.
You're right.
Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down at that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave.
Very well. I'll suggest it.
I think Mid might need some help tidying up that work.
If I don't come up with something soon.
All right, Clive?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal... And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack... I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching. The sack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
It hasn't been.
Blackthorn.
Hell with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise in... Go on, then. What is it this time?
She said you would know.
Krieger's Tates. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but... And I'll need help. Get Gavin in here.
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave.
And, what is it we need to do?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and that means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at a temperature, which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split. One of us should probably give you an hand collecting the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this...
Right then.
Well, make your mind... Going after the starter. Which one of these
Otto, you're with me.
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy.
And I'm guessing you'll be needing... I'll let down.
You...
Just don't let the boat.
He wouldn't do that.
Best of...
Looks like I found the river. Now where's Otto? Otto, sorry I'm late.
I had a quick scout. Seems Blackthorn's the only one who thinks smithing with his Stardust stuff's a good idea. It's just lying here, waiting for any old fool to fill his boots.
But unlike any old fool, you thought to bring a wagon.
Well spotted. Now get filling.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me. That should be enough for now. Let's see how Otto's getting on.
Fly, Ambrosia.
You deserve a rest.
Stay down!
How much did you get?
Enough.
More than me. Here,
Of what?
Of you. The way you've carried on what he started. When we first met, I had you down as a spoilt little puppy who enjoyed nothing more than biting the hand that fed. 5 years on, you're the one doing the feeding. So thanks for proving me wrong.
You weren't wrong. But I changed. Thanks to Sid. And thanks to you. And if you hadn't, no one else would have. I couldn't have done any of this without you.
Yo, give over. You're making me blush. All I did was choose hope over despair.
Okay.
You took a rabble of homeless, hopeless outcasts and put them back on their feet, just like the old Cid did. About time I was heading back, or all this scrabbling about in the sands.
I'll see you back at the hideaway then.
Oh, I plan. But I'll make sure Blackthorn gets his precious black sand before I put my feet up.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
The finest fabric!
Take a sniff, good sir.
Leave now. There'll be no one to man the shop.
Oh, where did all the men go?
Weights and pods!
Mummy, I want to play with the crystal. How many?
Things do I have to tell you? It's not a toy.
Let's go.
What the hell are those things?
By the flames. That explains the heat.
Torgal! All yours, Torgal! Get him! Over here! Enough! Go, Torgal! Get him! Over here! To me, boys!
Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling. Where would I be without you?
The most fragrant herbs in spice.
Oh, where did all the men drop?
Plates and pots! There he is. The man who's... I was hoping we'd be seeing you again. The baths grow more bearable by the moment. It won't be long now before we are back to business as usual.
I'm glad to hear it.
Now, tell me this. What did you find at the terraces?
Oh, what?
You tell a fine story. That's not to say I don't believe you, though. Creatures made of flame, eh? That's something new to worry about. But I burdened you with... Right.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs. Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust.
Nice to get out and about. Let's do it again sometime.
I'll make a start. It'll take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my...
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's...
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
like the crystal too? You're joking.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border.
I think Mid might need some help tidying up.
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn's started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from...
But just...
What's her name? Right.
Oh.
Yes.
I'll show you the plan. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which... Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lost... The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted... Would that help?
Oh, very much. I'll gather my team and head there right away.